Nice to see you. We live in an amazing world, and the more we explore it, the more exciting things we discover. So today you'll learn how one little cat can save tigers from extinction. You'll get to know a unique human-pig hybrid, and you'll also learn if a chicken can grow outside an egg. All you have to do is subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Let's get started. We're going to start with Cyborg Beatles. Yep, you heard right. What sounds like a B-movie title is actually a real scientific project, a project that can save many lives.
So it's tripod, so it's very slow now.
So amazing that you just press a button and the Beatles starts walking.
Back in 2015, scientists managed to take control of the movement of beetles, forcing them to take off, land, and change flight directions. This was possible thanks to a radio transmitter and a miniature backpack with an electronic system. If the technology can be improved, flying insects could be used as miniature drones in the future. A small microphone and temperature sensor can easily be added to the Beatles' equipment for use in search and rescue operations. These tiny rescuers could explore collapsed buildings, for example. You've probably heard stories about scientists planning to bring back extinct animals using their DNA and surrogate mothers. Usually, we imagine dinosaurs or mammoths.
Why exactly do you want to bring the mammoth back?
Because it's available.
But most likely, the first experiments will be conducted on existing species. For example, scientists at the University of Georgia are planning to save tigers from extinction. They plan to create an embryo using tiger skin and stem cells and then place it in a domestic cat. Despite being different species and having different sizes, the experiment should work.
We are still waiting to make that leap from skin cell to stem cell. And I think we're finally on the doorstep. We're ready to go.
What about a chicken raised in a glass? In 2018, Chinese scientists hatched the first chicken without an eggshell. For 21 days, people watched the bird grow and mature directly through the transparent walls of the glass. It's truly a unique experiment, and it can be useful for working with the genetic material of an embryo, like genome editing. This technology can also be useful for specialists working in regenerative medicine. As you see, there are huge benefits from the birth of one tiny chicken. Scientists can create amazing and sometimes even strange things. Not only do they intervene in the process of the birth of a new creature, but they can change the creature itself. This might be shocking, but sometimes people make holes in cows in order to monitor the digestive process of the animal.
And this is pretty amazing because I've seen this before, and when I tell people about this, they don't really believe me that a steer has a hole in the side of his stomach.
Usually, a plastic port with the diameter of an adult's hand is inserted in the rumen, the first section of the cow's alimentary canal. Through this hole, zoologists, animal technicians, veterinarians, and animal nutrition specialists watch how the digestion functions. They take tests of semi-digested food and add different enzymes and vitamins. It's all done to ensure cows are as healthy as possible.
It's hot in there.
While some farmers make holes in their cows, others play jazz for them. Florida farmer Ed Henderson has been playing the trombone since primary school. One day, he decided to practice in his backyard, and he found an unexpected audience. All the cows that lived on the farm at the time approached the fence to listen. Yeah, they clearly enjoyed the free show. Perhaps it all started with one cow who told the others, but who cares? What matters is they really like jazz. Well, if cows like jazz, then cats are a little more tricky. These animals have always been picky. David is a soloist with the American National Symphony Orchestra, and to create the right music for cats, he teamed up with animal technicians, and in the end, they made something really weird. How could that even come to mind? These sounds are very different from the music we usually hear. It sounds more like buzzing, creaking, and sometimes tweeting. The cats really like it. Music soothes them, and it's perfect for pets who sit home all day waiting for their human. Surprisingly, David doesn't even have a cat. While cats and cows sit and listen to music, bees actually can produce it, but we're not talking about their buzzing. The British musician Bione Samp creates exceptional music with the use of handmade synthesizers and 100,000 bees. He records insects and hives, runs the audio through synthesizers, and extracts rhythm from it. And those rhythms differ depending on the role of the bees. For workers, drones, or the queen, different sounds are produced. It's hard to believe it, but you can actually listen to this. You might want to add this music to your playlist. While some bees make music, others face extinction. You've probably heard that there are fewer and less bees in the world every year, and this could lead to disaster. But it's not just the bees that are disappearing. All it takes to notice the change in nature is, no, not checking the list of threatened species. You just have to listen to your surroundings. Soundscape ecologist Bernie Krause has been recording the sounds of nature for decades, and every year, in places before you could hear insects and birds, things are getting quieter. Today, these locations just yield silence or human noise, and this is really sad. Look, here's what Krause writes in his book, The Great Animal Orchestra. A great silence is spreading over the natural world, even as the sound of man is becoming deafened. Little by little, the vast orchestra of life, the chorus of the natural world, is in the process of being quiet. At the same time, there are still many pigeons in cities. Many people treat them with contempt and see them as flying rats that carry diseases and spoil cars. But scientists at Birmingham University have come up with ways to use pigeons to benefit society. They created a Pigeon Patrol. The idea is quite simple. Specially trained pigeons wear small backpacks that contain sensors. The devices read levels of nitrogen dioxide and other toxic substances in the air. The backpacks are securely attached. They don't interfere with the flight of the birds, and they won't fall from the pigeons. These low-cost devices provide air quality data, and the pigeons provide maximum coverage. It's much cheaper than standard monitoring methods and will save governments millions of dollars every year. But let's forget about pigeons with backpacks and talk about real science, the one that's hard to understand and even frightening. Scientists all over the world are conducting experiments to interbreed humans and animals, and it looks like they've managed to create a human-pig hybrid.
This is the first time that we see human cells actually can survive, even though at very low level, can survive in this stage of the pig embryo.
So far, it's just an embryo consisting of pig and human cells. The latter accounts for less than 0.001%. It may seem insignificant at first glance, but even such a tiny percentage is real progress in the process of cross-breeding different species. This is the first time that human cells have grown inside a large animal. In the future, embryos can help create technology to grow human organs and thus save thousands of lives. People won't have to wait for a suitable donor organ because hearts, kidneys, or lungs can simply be grown in a lab. Even now, such hybrids can help with drug testing before moving forward to testing on humans. All you need to do is increase the proportion of human cells in the embryo from 0.1 to 1%. But not only hybrids can save people's lives, ordinary animals are here for us too. And we're not just talking about pigs or heroic dogs that protect their owners. Sometimes invaluable help is provided by fish. Fish skin serves as a band-aid made from living tissue, which is used in the treatment of second and third degree burns. Fish skin contains collagen, a protein that helps to heal wounds. Moreover, fish scales stay wet longer and the process of replacement is not so painful. However, fish skin does not only help people, it's also used to treat animal burns. During the fires in California in 2017, many animals from local reserves lost their homes and were seriously injured. Several injured animals got burnt on their paws and were treated with fish skin to speed up the healing process. Biologists disinfected layers of tilapia skin and then they applied it to the affected paws and fixed the band-aid with sutures. Unfortunately, human activity isn't always about saving animals, even if it seems we are talking about good deeds. For example, to develop vaccines and study the most dangerous diseases, experiments are conducted on monkeys. These experiments are not voluntary, and the animal can die easily in the process. And this goes on despite protests from numerous animal activists. Such laboratories exist around the world. Are scientists trying to save humanity from diseases? Of course they are. But is this the way to do it? Nevertheless, people are doing everything they can to save animals, or at least make their lives more comfortable. Jenny Brown lost her leg when she was 10. She uses a prosthesis to move around. When she saw some injured animals on her farm, Jenny concluded that technology could help animals just as well as it helped her. Today, she takes care of more than 300 different animals.
Hey, Bess, just... She's feisty.
They all come to Jenny from bad places, where they've been deprived of love and veterinary care. Some are deprived of limbs. These animals have received prosthesis and special support with wheels. Everything to make life on the farm as comfortable and happy as possible. And finally, one of the most unusual products of animal origin in the world. You probably have heard of sheep cheese and sheep wool, but how about sheep vodka? Sounds absurd, but it's a real product, and thankfully no sheep are hurt during the process. Sheep vodka is only produced in one place in the world, a sheep farm in Australia. Of course, it's not made from the sheep themselves, but from sheep cheese, or rather from the whey, which is obtained during the cheese production process. Strange as it may seem, this drink is so popular that the manufacturer has even launched a line of sheep gins. We owe a lot to animals. If it weren't for them, humanity would have evolved very differently, or maybe we wouldn't exist at all. In any case, people really do owe a lot to animals. And if you enjoyed our video, don't forget to give us animals that made it a like.